So with a clean face, I've already washed my face, moisturized my face, toner, all that good stuff. We're going to use the Infallible Pro Matte Foundation. I'm using it in a caramel beige, or beige caramel. I don't think it matters, but it's beige caramel or caramel beige, whatever. I really love this foundation. Why? Because it's full coverage, it's drugstore, and it really lasts. I've always struggled with finding a foundation that doesn't rub off on my chin and on my nose area, my T-zone in general, because it's the most oily. And this one, although it is drugstore, it is an oil control foundation. So I'm gonna go in with a Morphe E44. It's hella dirty, but it's their domed foundation brush. It's not as dense as the M439, but I do like this one, although when it's clean, it's a little bit more movable. Now it's kind of stiff because it's dirty, but you know the drill. I'm gonna put this directly on to my brush and then just dab all over the face. And I do know that it looks darker than my actual skin tone, but the rest of my body is tan. Typically when I was on vacation and when I'm out on the sun, I do put SPF on my face. And so therefore it doesn't tan like the rest of my body does. So it is darker than my face skin tone, but it matches perfectly with everything else, so I don't look discolored. When I use my foundations that match my actual face, I do look whiter than the rest of my body, even though that's my face color, so I end up having to bronze a bit more. I'm gonna go in with a damp beauty blender and just kind of pat all over. This is just gonna pick up any excess product, really just if there was any streakiness with the brush, it's going to give it a more flat, not so textured appearance. I'm sorry if I'm looking this way, it's just it keeps going in and out of focus for some reason, and I don't know what else it's picking up on. I mean, my face is right freaking in the middle of the thing, but bear with me, I'm still learning the tricks of the trade here. So after that, I'm going to do my eyes. I've always done my concealer and everything first, but sometimes I get fallout and I go to wipe away and then I wipe off too much of like my under eye. So even though we're using light colors today, I want to go into the eye first. And of course, I'm going to go in with my tried and true Morphe 350 matte palette. I can't get enough, guys. I'm sorry. And I know that there's so many dupes that you can find. Oh, there you go. So many dupes that you can find in other palettes and whatnot, but I will eventually do tutorials using other palettes. But right now, I have a drawer full of palettes. I have all the Naked ones. I have MAC compacts. I have BH Cosmetics ones. I have the It's Judy Time. I have Elf. I have a whole bunch. Look at it. It's just, it's so pretty. Anyone that knows me, makeup wise, like knows me, like my heart, I'm a neutrals girl. Like, it took me forever to start wearing shadows, first of all, and ever since I've always been the browns chick. I'm going to take, where are you? This maybe not this one. I'm going to take this random Amazon fake Sigma brush that I got a long time ago, and I'm going to go into my Soft Ochre Paint Pot by MAC. And because I have nails, I don't like to put my finger in because then it gets stuck under my nail and then it just irritates the crap out of me. So I'm just going to put a little bit of this all over the eye, just so that everything really adheres. because yes, I have sweaty eyelids. It's disgusting, but that's why Mama's gotta set it. And with the excess, just run it down under the lash line. Because we are going to put a little wash of color down there. So the first color we're gonna go in with is the light cream color. Not the lightest one, but one of the light ones. And we're just gonna put that all over. Because once you have a powder as, like you have your primer and then you have a light layer of the powder, it's easier to blend. Rather than if you put just your primer and then the eyeshadow, it's gonna be harder to blend that out because it kind of sticks to the primer and that's it. But this is like an extra layer just to help it move more, have the other colors move a little more, but they're not gonna move off your eye, if that makes sense. And then I'm going to go in with this, whoa, Nelly. Snap, I just dug my nail into it. Oh, what a sad day. I'll survive. I'm gonna go in with this, where do you go? With this like light orangey one. Up here, or down here, whatever maybe. We're just gonna do that one in the crease and a little bit on the brow bone. We're gonna dab. Because this is a denser brush, you see how the color comes up a lot more intense. We're not gonna leave it that intense. Now once that's down, it's not gonna stay like that. We're gonna blend the crapola out of it. So you're just gonna take a clean blending brush and just blend. You don't wanna blend onto the lid. If you're gonna blend, blend upwards. Upwards and inwards, but not downwards. Okay, so it's now blended out. I'm going to go in with just a little bit more of a browner tone, this light brown. I'm going to go in with this little bit of a lighter brown, and I'm just going to lightly put that, dust off the excess, and put that on the brow bone. So kind of where that color meets. Just because I don't want to go in with the orange all the way up there, but I do want it to not be white once we go in with the what's it called? The brow bone color. Sorry, I don't know how these girls do it. How they just like talk and do all this stuff. Like I have to pause and really think about what I'm gonna say. If not, I'll just start saying the most random crap that comes to my brain. So yeah, that brown was to like fill in this space between the bone and the actual brow. So you don't have so much of a gap of, you know how you put the lighter color here, you don't want it to be too far down. You just want a little bit. So it really highlights the brow. The brow highlight. All right, we're going with this tiny little fluffy brush and go with the one I dug my nail into. The light one, no one. And I'm going to pat that on the inner of the lid and drag it out a little bit. So pat here, drag. And also because it's a little fluffy, I'm just going to blend that out. I know it may seem a little dark white on the camera or whatever it may be. It's not gonna look that way. The lashes that we're using are a little bit bolder than normal, and we're going to add liner. So you don't wanna do too much on your lids if you're going to be adding liner and lashes, because then you're not really even gonna be able to see it. So I would rather spend more time blending up here and in the rest of my face to where you're actually gonna be able to see the difference than do something crazy on my lid and then you can't even see it, because my eyes are pretty small. If you have big eyes, then go for it, boo-boo. Do your thing, but I've got little eyes, so I have to accentuate where's necessary. And that same color I'm gonna do under the brows. And kind of line the bottom. And go back with the same blending brush that we used with that brown and just mesh those two together. Which shouldn't take a lot of work, because you're just kind of dusting off whatever excess kind of found its way down. And that's pretty much it for the shadow portion until we go under the eyes. What we're going to do is our concealer. We are going to highlight the center of our face and then leave the golden bronze for the outside and kind of chisel it out a little bit. And with this MAC Pro Longwear Concealer in NC20, I know it's like super light, but I can always add a little bit of my powder just to darken it up a bit, but if it's too dark, then there's no point in highlighting. I'm gonna use a Sephora Professional angled foundation brush. I used to use this so long ago for foundation. It was like the first thing. It's lasted a really long time. But now what I like to use it for, because it has that angle, it's like perfect for marking that line and going down to paint my concealer. I was gonna say foundation. So I take a pump of this, like one full pump, and then go right under the eye, dab it, and then drag it down. Damn, it looks hella white. I don't, this is not how I blend out my concealer. This is simply to put it on. If I use like my NYX one or the L'Oreal Age Rewind that has that little spongy thing that you put on directly to your face, there's no need for this brush. But because this is a pump and I don't like to put it on my beauty blender, this is hella dirty. I don't like to put it on my beauty blender, then I just, I like putting it on a brush or on another surface before. I mean, before I remembered that I had this brush, I would legit pump one onto my face. I know, ridiculous. But I don't know, it's just something about squeezing it onto the beauty blender that it doesn't sit right with me. I don't know. And we're just going to pounce it out. Pounce, pounce, pounce with the beauty blender. Okay, now that that is all blended out, we're going to go in with our Ben Nye Luxury Banana Powder. And I'm just going to put a little bit of it into the cap. Sorry, my camera stopped recording, but I don't know where it cut off. But what I was saying is just to put some under everywhere you just blended the concealer. Pat it on. And this by no means is baking. Typically when I do the baking thing, I do a couple layers with the Beauty Blender. This one is a little bit softer, but it still gives that bright effect. It's not as intense. And I don't mind if a little bit of the excess does stay on there because I can wipe it away. But I do think that this powder, it does give such a beautiful finish under the eyes. I mean, on the skin period. It makes everything just look a little bit smoother. And I really love that when a product just can not make you look like a totally different person, but it enhances things or it covers up your flaws in a way that's not too fake. You know what I mean? And that same damp Beauty Blender, just to pat it down. So in case there is any extra powder or it does start looking a little chalky, the moisture of a damp Beauty Blender and everything just kind of makes it toned down. You just gotta try it to know what I'm talking about. Sorry, just gotta try it. I'm gonna put this IT Cosmetics Je ne sais quoi Vitality Lip Flush. This is not the color we're using, but it's like a lip balm and it's your lips but better pink. I'm not going out with this pink. I just want some moisture to start getting into the lips. See, it's a white thing, but it revitalizes your lips. We are going to brush out our brows and get them all on the same page and fill them in. And this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. Comment down below what you would like to see next. I really do need ideas and help over here. I have some things in mind, it just timing wise hasn't worked out. The lip swatches will be coming soon, depending on when my sister can have a day to come film with me. And more plan with me's and all that good stuff. So comment down below what you guys would like to see next, and I hope to see you guys soon. Bye.